You've probably seen this all over your feed by now. Influencers calling seed oils toxic sludge. Politicians saying they're poisoning us. Even big salad chains ripping them out of their menus to protect your health. Canola, sunflower, soybean, corn, suddenly they're the hateful eight and blamed for everything from obesity to cancer. So are seed oils basically poison? Or is this just another internet panic that sounds scary but completely falls apart when you look at the science? Let's forge the truth. Today we're diving into one of the loudest nutritional battles on the internet right now. Seed oils. On one side, you've got influencers and even government officials calling them micropoisons and toxic industrial chemicals. Some fast casual chains like Sweetgreen have even gone seed oil free after online pressure. On the other side, you've got nutrition scientists and major heart health organisations looking at decades of data saying, no, that's not what the evidence shows. So in the video, we're going to explain what seed oils actually are, break down the big claims, inflammation, heart disease, cancer, obesity, and walk through what the research and registered dietitians actually find. By the end, you'll know whether you need to bin that bottle of vegetable oil or whether someone's just selling you fear. Let's start with the basics. Seed oils just means oils pressed from seeds of plants instead of from the fruit. So things like canola, rapeseed oil, sunflower oil, soybean oil, corn oil, safflower, cottonseed, grapeseed, and rice bran oil. These are the famous hateful eight you hear in rants and reels. They're high in polyunsaturated fats, especially omega-6 linoleic acid, a fat your body actually can't make itself and has to get from food. That's important later. Now, critics love showing scary footage of giant factories and talk about industrial chemicals like hexane and high heat processing. They'll say things like, if you have to use a chemical solvent to make it, it's not food, it's poison. Here's the nuance the videos usually skip. It's true that some seed oils are extracted with solvents and then refined. But those solvents are removed and the leftover levels are far below safety limits set by food regulators. Dietitians point out that what's left is mostly fat, not a beaker of neurotoxin. And most importantly, how something is made doesn't tell you whether it's good or bad for your health. The effects in humans do. So let's look at the actual claims. This is probably the most common line you'll hear. Seed oils are inflammatory. They wreck your cells, wreck your brain, wreck your hormones. It sounds convincing. Omega-6 fats are used to make some inflammatory signaling molecules in the body. So people make a giant leap. Omega-6 equals inflammation equals disease. What does the research say? A recent survey of human studies on linoleic acid, that main omega-6 seed oils, found that higher levels in the blood were actually linked to a lower risk of major cardiovascular events, not higher. Another analysis looking at people with higher linoleic acid levels found lower inflammatory markers and a lower risk of type 2 diabetes, the opposite of the inflammation and weight gain claim. An umbrella review of vegetable oils concluded that, overall, seed oils do not increase systemic inflammation in humans. That doesn't mean drink a glass of canola oil and your joints will feel amazing. It means within normal dietary amounts, seed oils are not acting like some hidden inflammatory time bomb. Most dietitians who specialise in heart and metabolic health are pretty blunt about it. The fear that seed oils drive inflammation just isn't backed up by the human data we have. So, on chronic inflammation, the claim that seed oils are basically poison, that's looking like fiction. Next big claim. Seed oils are behind the heart disease epidemic. Ditch them for butter, tallow, bacon grease, go back to traditional fats. Here's where decades of research really matter, because this has been studied a lot. What happens when you swap saturated fat from things like butter and lard for unsaturated fat from seed oils? Meta-analysis controlled trials show that replacing saturated fat with linoleic-rich vegetable oils lowers LDL cholesterol, the bad cholesterol that contributes to clogged arteries. Large observational studies where they measure people's blood levels of linoleic acid find that those with higher levels have a lower risk of cardiovascular disease and stroke. The American Heart Association flat out says there's no reason to avoid seed oils and plenty of reason to eat them, especially when they replace animal fats. Now, it's true that a few papers and commentators argue that high omega-6 intake might be harmful, and they point to some association with heart disease. But when you zoom out to all the controlled trials and big analysis together, the weight of evidence is still swapping butter and lard for seed oil-based fats tends to improve your heart risk profile, not worsen it. So if you're throwing away canola oil and going back to beef tallow because TikTok said ancestral, you're actually moving against what most cardiology and nutrition data suggests is cardioprotective. On heart disease, the seed oils are killing your heart narrative? Mostly fiction, with some nuance, but still fiction. Let's tackle the rest of the fear package. Cancer and obesity. You'll hear things like, cancer rates exploded when we started using seed oils. Seed oils are the hidden cause of the obesity epidemic. Again, big claims. So what do we actually see? On cancer, organisations like the World Cancer Research Fund and Cancer Council Australia state there is no good evidence that consuming seed oils increases cancer risk. Most large human studies don't find that higher linoleic acid intake raises cancer risk. Some even suggest neutral or slightly protective effects when seed oils replace saturated fats. On obesity, it's true that seed oils show up in a lot of ultra-processed foods, crisps, biscuits, fast food, supermarket bakery stuff. But that doesn't mean the oil is the villain. Those foods are also high in refined starch and sugar, high in salt, engineered to be hyper-palatable, easy to overeat, and calorie-dense. Dietitians keep making the same point. When people cut out ultra-processed foods, they eat fewer empty calories, more protein and fibre, and often lose weight and improve health. That doesn't prove that the seed oil itself was the poison. So blaming seed oils for the obesity epidemic is like blaming the screws in a fast food fryer. They're part of the system, but not the part doing the real damage. At this point, you might be thinking, if the data are that clear, why is my feed full of people screaming that seed oils are toxic? A few reasons. Fear is clickable. A science communicator recently joked that fear of seed oils could probably fuel rockets to Jupiter. That's how much energy people put into it. His whole point was that fear-based content makes money. Calm, boring facts don't. Simple villains are satisfying. It's easier to blame one ingredient than to deal with messy realities. Sleep, stress, exercise, overall diet, and social equality. Politics and identity. The anti-seed oil crusade has become a kind of cultural badge in some online communities and political circles. Articles have literally pointed out that opposition to seed oils now pops up alongside other conspiracy-flavoured health takes. And finally, nutrition science is complicated and imperfect, which makes it easy for people to cherry-pick one or two scary-sounding studies and ignore the rest. So you end up with salad chains ditching seed oils to keep customers happy, even while nutrition scientists are sitting there going, the evidence doesn't support this panic. Alright, let's bring this down to your plate. Here's the bottom line from the research we've just walked through. Seed oils are not basically poison. Used in normal cooking amounts, in the context of a mostly whole food diet, they're not secretly destroying your health. Swapping animal fats like butter and lard for seed oil-based unsaturated fats tends to lower LDL and heart disease risk. Claims that seed oils uniquely cause inflammation, cancer, or obesity are not supported by the bulk of human evidence we have so far. That doesn't mean you have to drown everything in canola oil. You can't prefer extra virgin olive oil or avocado oil for taste or cooking style. You should ignore the fact that ultra-processed foods, where seed oils often show up, are usually still a worse choice than basic home cooking. The real upgrades most people need are fewer ultra-processed, deep-fried, hyper-palatable foods, more whole foods, vegetables, fruit, beans, nuts, whole grains, quality proteins. Fats mostly from unsaturated sources, whether that's olive oil, canola, sunflower, nuts, or fish. So on a factor fiction foundry scale, seed oils are basically poison. Verdict? Fiction. The panic is real, the evidence just doesn't agree with it. If this video helped cut through some of the noise, do me a favour, hit like so YouTube knows you're not a bot made of beef tallow. Subscribe if you want more evidence-based myth-busting instead of fear-based health panic. And now it's your turn. What food myths do you want me to forge next? Is it artificial sweeteners, carbs after 6 PM, microwave radiation, or something even weirder? Drop your myth in the comments and it might be the next episode of Fact or Fiction Foundry. Thanks for watching, and remember, don't fear your frying pan, fear bad evidence.